symbolized by tying the victim to the mouth of a cannon. Century. Portuguese colonialists utilized this method during the 16th and 17th centuries across their empire. The Mughal Empire also employed blowing from a gun as a form of execution throughout the 17th and into the 18th century, particularly targeting rebels. In the Indian subcontinent, the destruction of the body and scattering of the remains over a wide area served a religious purpose, as it prevented Hindus and Muslims from performing the necessary funeral rites. This extended the punishment beyond death for believers, as it denied them the proper rituals associated with their faith. Blowing from a gun exemplifies the extreme severity and cruelty with which capital punishment was
These are videos you need to see before you die. Okay, so did you know when a whale dies, it sometimes falls to the bottom of the ocean floor called a whale fall, and their corpse creates a complex ecosystem for countless deep-sea organisms. Well, the video I'm about to show you is exactly that, which a research submarine discovered, and it shows many organisms enjoying this whale's homemade ecosystem. Here's the video, and it's crazy.
Whale fall. Here we go, baby. Okay,
This is phenomenal. Yeah, dinner is served.
Oh,
that's not bacterial, man.
No, they are worms. Look at the blubber on the right side.
It's not even digested all the way. This is so good.
Definitely, where food is so limited, I would imagine scavenging is a great strategy. Your food doesn't run away.
So yeah, isn't that video so fascinating? It's crazy to me how life can just end for one, but even after death, they can still...
Oh fuck! Oh fucking shit!
In the very last cell, a dark figure can be seen inside. This menacing shadow figure stared back at Josh, sending him running in fear. But the question remains, is this penitentiary haunted, or was this all just a hoax? When living in a secluded house in the middle of the woods, it's very likely to see wildlife from time to time. Well, one man on TikTok saw something on his property that he can't explain. He began documenting his encounters with this strange creature on TikTok. But lately, this creature has gotten too close for comfort.
Get the other side. Oh, damn. Holy shit. All right. Son of a bitch just went on the other side of the house.
After hearing a noise on his roof, he discovered the creature was now on top of his house. This eerie, glowing-eyed being stared down at him before quickly ducking out of view. This bizarre creature doesn't appear to be an animal, but if it's not...
New horror movies that are actually good, Part 64. Malam, this film is extremely demonic, creepy, and very confusing. If you get anxiety from these types of films, then do not watch it.
Alright, so if you guys didn't know, on August 18th, we are getting a Dead by Daylight inspired Texas Chainsaw Massacre video game. In this game, you're either able to take on the roles of one of the Slaughter family members, or you're able to take on the roles of one of their victims. Now, this game is pretty much like the original movie from 1974. If you're one of the Slaughter family members, you gotta try to snatch up everybody and kill them, or if you're one of the victims, you gotta try to stay out of the family member's reach. If you decide to play as one of the Slaughter family members, you're gonna either be Leatherface, Johnny, Cook, Sissy, or the Hitchhiker. Now, I don't know about you guys, but 9 times out of 10, if I'm a fucking Slaughter family member, I'm gonna be Leatherface, okay? There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, say Texas Chainsaw Massacre isn't your cup of tea. Say you don't want to play that. You want to play something similar to Friday the 13th, but not that. I got you, because sometime this year, I don't know when, but sometime this year, we're supposed to be getting a Killer Clowns from Outer Space video game. You can either play as one of the clowns and use a fucking popcorn bazooka or a cotton candy gun, or you can be one of the victims and get killed by a popcorn bazooka or a candy gun. Either way, both games, they look like they're gonna be fucking bangers, and as a horror movie fan myself,
listen, I found the most peaceful spider.
Wait, so you're no longer an arachnophobia?
No, for real, look at it. When it loses an arm, it grows back 2, which means over its life, it can grow up to 200 arms. It's called a feather star.
Bro, that thing looks nasty. Does it bite?
So, it does have a mouth located on the upper part of its body, and it uses its feathery arms to catch particles to feed itself. Most people think it's venomous because of its appearance, but they're actually gentle and help clean the ecosystem.
That's either an alien or an entity from the background.
Normal-looking photos that have a disturbing backstory. Ronaldo Doxa, a politician in the Philippines, took a picture of his family right before he was assassinated on New Year's Day in 2011. The man in the back shot him twice while his family was forced to watch. The man holding the puppy is Yukio Araki, a kamikaze pilot who just one day later would crash into the USS Brian, killing 66 of the crew members and taking his own life. Yukio was only 17 years old, knowing completely well that he'd be going to his death the next day. The smiling man in this photo is Nazi Joseph Goebbels, who is in a 1933 League of Nations meeting, and in the next photo, his expression completely changes. His expression changes from cheerful to hatred because someone told him that the photographer was of Jewish descent. This seemingly normal photo shows three men in judo attire. The man on the right, however, is Osama bin Laden, the terrorist responsible for the 9/11 attacks on New York City. The girl wearing the veil is Elizabeth Smart, who was kidnapped for 9 months by the man on the far right. This photo was taken at a party the kidnapper crashed with Elizabeth, and she was forced to wear this veil at all times to keep her from being recognized in public.
The term four horses, or disruption, involves using four horses to pull a person's arms and legs in opposite directions, resulting in their limbs being torn off. During the Renaissance and early modern period, regicide, the killing of a monarch, was considered one of the most heinous crimes. The four horses was reserved for this crime. Francois Ravaillac saw himself as a divine instrument and believed that by killing King Henry IV, he was fulfilling a divine mission to save France from heresy. However, his act of regicide was widely condemned, and he was subjected to a gruesome execution. Before being drawn and quartered, he was scalded with burning sulfur, molten lead and boiling oil and resin, and his flesh was torn by pincers. Finally, he was tied to horses and dismembered. Similarly, Mikhail Piekarski's attempt to assassinate King Sigismund III of Poland was motivated by religious and political reasons. His failed attempt to kill the king resulted in his conviction for attempted regicide, and he was sentenced to a brutal execution. His body was slowly torn apart with heated ply.
If you've seen the movie Hell House LLC, then you'll recognize this building. This is the real Hell House. It's a real haunted house attraction, and it's really supposed to be haunted. We spent the night in this building alone, and the video's gonna be on my YouTube.
Hello. I ordered a can of Sprite from the dark web. Let's unbox this and see what we got. Okay, let's go. A tough package. Okay, we got our Sprite. It's still wrapped in some kind of label. Let's get it off. Sticky. Okay, it hasn't been opened. It looks legit. It looks like it hasn't been messed with. Also, why does Sprite taste like TV static? The can looks all good to me. Low calories. But something is always sus when ordering from the dark web. Let's have a look inside. Okay, it's weird. Let's pour it out. Oh no. What is this? This isn't Sprite. Sprite is supposed to look like chewy water, not this red water. It's a pretty heavy liquid. Is this Sprite cranberry? It's kinda warm. How did this get in there? Why is Sprite such a cursed drink? Soda pop did.
This is how a 48-year-old years ago, remains of an unknown woman were found in an Ontario river. In 1975, the woman was simply known as Nation River Lady. Not only was her true identity finally revealed, but the man who we believe is responsible has been arrested. Jewel Langford was 48 years old when she passed away. A DNA profile of her was eventually used to try and find family matches. Luckily, scientists were able to find 2 DNA matches. Now, this is believed to be the first case in Canada where forensic genealogy has been used to identify human remains. In April 1975, Jewel was reported missing by her family when she failed to return home. Tragically, she was found floating in the river and had been strangled by a television cable. 81-year-old Rodney Nichols from Florida has been arrested. He's charged with murder and...
This is straight out of a horror movie. These are the final messages between the Titan sub and the ship on top. So they started the descent around 7:58, and things started going wrong around 9:30. Before that, everything was chill. We're noting an alarm from the RTM. Reducing velocity descent depth, 3433. Understood. Do you need to ascend? No change with thrust. The rate of descent is increasing at 35. Going to release the ballast now. Yes, agree. Release the ballast. No improvement. Preparing to jettison the frame. Affirmative. Update when able. RTM indicator status? Frame jettison, multiple attempts needed, but starting the ascent now. Multiple attempts? What is your status? RTM indicators? Depth? 1 minute later. Update please when able. Crackling sound at AFT. Can you identify the source? RTM indicator status? Negative. RTM status? Trying to run diagnostics. Ascending now, but very slow. Sounds have subsided. Global RTM alert active, all red. Understood. Any codes? Depth? Ascent rate? Update when able, please. Slow ascent in progress. Quarter predicted. Unclear why rate is so small. No indicator. At 3476. We are talking it over with the engineer. Stand by. Depth and status, please. What's the wattage on upwards thrust? Reading red on the A power bus. I switch to B. At 3457 meters, more sounds AFT. Okay, now here's where they lose signal. Understood. Continue ascent. Talking to Carlos about power situation right now. Activating recovery procedures. Carlos is requesting wattage output from bus B. Status update, please. Velocity of ascent? We're not receiving you. Update, please. Status and depth report. We need you to respond with the status and depth. Carlos is requesting wattage update on thrusters. We are unable to read you. We are moving to recovery coordinates. Report if you read. Please respond if you're able. Literally terrifying. I can't imagine. Like, that's so scary. Also, my old Instagram was hacked and sold to a magazine company, so this is my new one.
I gave AIDS and hepatitis B to all my patients because I did not clean my equipment. I'm Scott Harrington, an experienced and renowned dentist. Throughout my career, I've treated thousands of patients and gained expertise in the field of dentistry. However, in 2013, my professional life took a devastating turn. Health authorities inspected my dental practice after a patient was diagnosed with hepatitis C. Shockingly, their investigation revealed multiple violations of hygiene and infection control standards within my office. I was accused of endangering the health of my patients by using unsterilized instruments, performing unsafe procedures, and employing staff who lacked proper training in hygiene practices. Consequently, thousands of patients were urged to undergo screenings for hepatitis B, hepatitis C, and HIV. This scandal led to the temporary suspension of my dental license and a lawsuit for medical negligence. I was profoundly disturbed and taken aback by these allegations, as I never intended to cause harm to my patients. After a lengthy legal battle, I eventually managed to regain my dental license and reopen my practice. If you're in need of dental care, don't hesitate to visit me. I'm here to help with all your oral health needs.
One of you guys sent me a very scary Ouija board story, and I am so excited to share it. So the story comes from a follower by the name of Taylor, and it occurred when they were 12 to 13 years old. So when Taylor was around 12 to 13, they and their mom moved into their grandparents' house when their parents split. Pretty soon after they moved in, some weird things started happening in the house. Weird things such as hearing movement in the kitchen, walking by and no one being in there but all of the cabinets being open. Taylor eventually went to their grandma and was like, stuff is happening in your house. Are you experiencing this too? Taylor's grandma then explained that long ago someone in their family had played a Ouija board and did not properly say goodbye, or say goodbye at all. And ever since then, that house has been extremely haunted because they didn't close that portal. 5 months go by and things are getting increasingly worse for Taylor. They were having nightmares so dark that when they shared it with their mom, the mom considered taking them to the hospital. They would see shadow figures running around from room to room that would look like people, would look like dogs, would look like birds. They considered moving at one point because things just got so bad. But here's when things got the worst. So Taylor was sitting in bed with the lights off and looks in the corner and notices a shadowy figure standing there staring. Taylor described the feeling that she got from this thing as anything but human. Taylor started to pray, and hoped that it would go away, but instead it charged and then quickly disappeared mid-charge. The next morning, Taylor would find 3 scratches down her arm that were not there before. After that, they decided to have a medium come and look at the house, bless it, and just try to help things out. The medium informed them that there were portals opened by the Ouija board that would never ever close completely. The medium was also able to tell Taylor the exact experience that they had had in their bedroom where the shadow was staring at them without being told at all. The medium said that it was an attachment to Taylor and helped get rid of it. The hauntings are still going on. They have the house cleansed and blessed, but it always comes back. And that was the end of the story. That is terrifying. I'm telling y'all, I know I'm never gonna tell anyone to never use a Ouija board, but I cannot stress
Baba Yaga is a supernatural creature from Slavic folklore. She is typically depicted as an old, ugly witch with iron teeth and a long, hooked nose who lives in a hut deep in the forest. Baba Yaga is a complex character, sometimes benevolent and sometimes malevolent. Her stories have been passed down through generations and have evolved over time. The first written account of Baba Yaga appears in the 18th century in the collection of folk tales compiled by the Russian writer Afanasyev. However, Baba Yaga is believed to have existed in Slavic mythology long before this. Baba Yaga is often associated with the natural world and is said to have control over the elements. She is also associated with death and the afterlife. In some stories, Baba Yaga is a guardian of the forest who helps those who show her respect and wisdom. In other stories, she is a dangerous and malevolent creature who lures people to her hut to eat them. One of the most famous stories featuring Baba Yaga is the Russian fairy tale, Vasilisa the Beautiful. In this story, Vasilisa is sent to Baba Yaga's hut to get fire for her stepmother. Baba Yaga gives Vasilisa impossible tasks to complete, but ultimately helps her and gives her a magical doll to help her on her journey. Baba Yaga has become a popular figure in literature and art, appearing in works by authors such as Nikolai Gogol and Marina Warner, and in films such as Hellboy and John Wick Chapter 2. Today, Baba Yaga remains a prominent figure in Slavic folklore.
These are videos humans were never meant to see. Okay, so we all remember this viral video of a girl on a plane, completely freaking out saying she wants to get off because the person she just saw wasn't human. But what if I told you some guy just did the same exact thing a couple days ago? Just watch this video and let's talk about it. So yeah, that guy claims that he saw a shapeshifter on the plane, and he instantly got up freaking out and tried to open the plane door while they're in the air. This video is absolutely insane, and what's going on recently with all these videos of people on planes seeing shapeshifters and things that—
All of the main traps in Saw 5 are possible.
A couple of nurses enter a section of a hospital that many doctors and nurses are afraid to enter alone. The section of this hospital is known as the Old ER, and it's a floor that's been abandoned for quite some time. Many patients have passed away on this floor, and some of those patients were children. Nurses claim that the floor of this hospital is haunted. One night, a group of nurses working the night shift decide to visit the floor just for fun. However, little did they know that something pretty terrifying would occur while being there. The following footage is their video. Watch.
You guys, haunted ER? We're gonna go. Haunted I'm really good too. Oh my god, my head is huge. Chloe, so I can't even. Huh?
It's just close to the camera.
Yeah, you're right. We got a chance for the haunted. Yeah.
Oh god.
Feels like
I'm not excited about this. I didn't even get to finish eating my sandwich.
it feels like we're getting on a. You nervous? Are you nervous?
Because it's haunted.
Are you nervous?
Yes.
Do you see anything?
This time traveler explains the future of humanity and explains what the world is going to be like in 2749.
Hello, my name is Alfred Bielik, more commonly known as Al Bielik. Original family name is Edward Cameron. I have been involved in the Philadelphia experiment, the Montauk Project, time travel, alien connections of the Montauk Project, and some other projects, all of which have been secret over the years, most of which have never been declassified. I wound up in the 28th century, and this was in a time period of 2749 to 2751 AD. Talk about changes in civilization, society, and everything else. It was drastically changed from what we saw in 2137, as this is now 600 years later. The cities were enormous. The cities were beautiful. They had ground-based cities, much as we have always had them. But they also had something else, floating cities. Floating cities, due to anti-gravity techniques being perfected sufficiently that they could float an entire city, which was perhaps not as large as any of our current cities. It was round, or very nearly round. But it floated on this platform, and they could move the city any place they wanted, remaining floating in the air, 4,000 or 5,000 feet above the ground, perhaps, or a little less, depending on what they wanted. But the size of the city was vertical rather than horizontal, 2,200 stories high. That's about 2.5 miles. The cities could move anywhere on the planet. Basically, they stayed hovering and floating. Notice they didn't like a particular location, they moved somewhere else. There wasn't that much traffic for moving cities, I can assure you, because the world population in that era, the 28th century, was only 500 million, and I was instructed later that was where they had held it for centuries. There would be no more than approximately 500 million population. Some of the features of this, let's start from the political standpoint. As I learned, all of these cities, whether they're ground-based cities, which the majority were, because they had to do manufacturing, they had to have agriculture and various other things to supply the needs of civilization. But all of them, whether floating or ground-based, were rather interesting in their governmental form. They had essentially no government. There was no government as we know it today. There was no money, there was no banks, there was no political jurisdictions, and there was resolved down to what would be best called a city-state structure, where the city is the state, and any other cities from that one are independent and operate in their own independent manner. So that was the major change there. There was no elected government, there was no appointed government, there was no government as we had ever seen it in the past. As I found out, each city was run by an intelligent computer.
Gruesome facts you didn't know, part 234. The Kang was a device used in East Asia for capital punishment, public humiliation, and sometimes even torture. A large, heavy wooden board fastened around the neck that restricted movement and made you rely on others to feed you as you couldn't reach your mouth. Papers noting your crimes attached to the board for all to see. If that wasn't bad enough on its own, it actually had an even more brutal variant. Now imagine you're fastened into the Kang and it is then placed on top of a wooden cage. You would be suspended by just your neck with your feet just out of reach of the ground. Initially, supports would be placed underneath of your feet, but over time they would be gradually removed, causing a slow and agonizing death by strangulation. In October of last year, an elderly woman in California went to the eye doctor complaining of blurriness and pain. Upon examination, 23 contact lenses were found lodged in her right eye. She kept forgetting to take them out at night and just kept...
She faked having cancer and received $100,000 in donations. On October 2012, 37-year-old Amanda Reilly started a blog to talk about a recent diagnosis of lymphoma cancer. Immediately, people wanted to help her out, so they started sending her donations to cover her medical expenses. But in reality, Amanda did not have cancer, and she was using this money to pay for her lifestyle. She was able to raise more than $100,000 in a span of 7 years, and she even shaved her head to make it look more convincing. She posted photos of herself and spoke about her treatment, and she even went about faking medical documents to make it all seem real. She was able to convince her family and friends that she had cancer, and she even went as far as to sue someone who questioned her diagnosis. But in 2019, Amanda was exposed when an anonymous tip was sent to an investigator, and she was sentenced to 5 years in prison.
What's hiding within the pages of the Devil's Bible? The Codex Gigas, an immense medieval manuscript crafted in the 13th century. Legend recounts the tale of a monk named Herman the Recluse, who faced imprisonment for breaking his monastic vows. In a desperate bid for freedom, he struck a bargain with the devil to fashion a book that would encompass all human knowledge, thus earning it the moniker, the Devil's Bible. Originally, the book contained 620 pages comprising diverse medical and magical texts. However, 12 pages were later torn out and shrouded in secrecy forever. Speculation runs rife that these missing pages harbored esoteric knowledge, which, when utilized in the past, allegedly caused calamities ranging from fires to the Black Death. Even a monk's attempt to pilfer the book purportedly led to him being struck down by lightning. As the search for the book persists, the question remains, what secrets lie hidden?
This is the last known selfie of adventurer Andrew McCulley. In 2007, he attempted to cross the Tasman Sea from Australia to New Zealand in just a kayak. Others have attempted to cross the dangerous stretch of water, but all have failed, and he wanted to be the first. About a month into his journey, he sent a text message to his wife saying, "See you at 9 a.m. on Sunday." But the next day, the Coast Guard received a distress call and a search party was sent out.
Track 1, your signal is muffled. Please repeat your message. Assume your kayak is sinking.
Only 35 miles from shore, his kayak and gear were all discovered in near perfect condition. But Unimaginable Workplace Accidents Part 6, The Baking of Dave and Ian. Viewer discretion is advised. At the Harvest Time Bakery in 1998, their massive industrial bread oven malfunctioned and required maintenance. David Mays and Ian
Look at me. Yeah, I know who you are. Yeah, you had to chase my child home. Look at me. What are you chasing two little girls for? No, sorry. What are you sorry for? What are you sorry for? What are you chasing children around these walls for? You are not to chasing my child home. You're not to chasing my child home. Don't. You're not to chasing my child there. What are you blessing yourself for? What are you blessing yourself for? Because you are caught? Because what are you saying, Liam Fox is blessing himself? What are you blessing yourself for? Yes, you're gone, Elvis.
Me daré aquí. No sé dónde estoy, pero no me quiere coger nada. Dice. Parece un bebé. ¿Se escucha, man? Allá hay una casa. ¿Se escuchan allá ahí? Allá escucha, bebé. Ahí está. ¿Lo escuchan?
The following video was shared online by an American woman who noticed a very strangely moving figure just outside her house in the middle of the night. She quickly grabbed her phone and started recording because she was afraid no one else would believe her.
You see his face clearly, right there.
Although the mysterious figure, whatever it is, looks quite suspicious and the way it moves seems disturbing and unnatural to say the least, the quality of the video itself unfortunately leaves much to be desired, and we are unable to take a good look at any details. Still, we can't really dismiss the theory that she managed to record some sort of a cryptid.
The board speaks by itself after ritual.
We can start the Red Book Challenge. Go into your quiet room, draw the curtains, and turn off the lights. Sit in a circle with the other participants. Place the candle in the middle of the circle, light them, close your eyes, place your palm on the cover of the book, and say out loud, "Red Book, may I enter your game?" So I have turned off all the lights. Unfortunately, very dark when I do. So I'm gonna see what happens when I change some of the lighting here. This isn't too bad, I can work with this. It sounds very negative to me, to be honest. If the answer is negative or nonsensical, contact cannot be made, do not proceed. I guess technically we got one negative and one nonsensical, which are both bad. So let's try this again. Red Book, may I enter your game? It doesn't mean I can't do it. That doesn't mean I can't do it. That doesn't mean I can't do it. Right there. So, what? No, wait. Okay. Sorry guys. Okay, so I just double checked the footage on my camera and I got that on camera. I got that cupboard. I haven't gone there yet. I literally took the footage to my computer, checked it to double check, and I grabbed the Ouija board just in case I wanted to use it. I'm going to the kitchen right now.
closet
the light
game
or leave me
ritual
in
gone.
darkness. Oh my god, it's so dark. I was not prepared for this. I was not prepared for how dark this was. I'm gonna do this. Fucking shadow standing behind me is terrifying. I'm afraid that I'm gonna turn and it's not gonna turn with me or something. That is so scary. That is not right. I don't like that. I don't like this at all. You guys watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? I feel like I have a... Okay, bro, this is fucked. This is too fucking scary. I can't do this anymore. I can't fucking do this. There's no way I'm fucking doing this right now. How do I even know that's my shadow? Whose shadow is that? How do you fucking know if that's your shadow or not? It goes the other way. Okay, bro, why would you fucking say that? Why would you fucking say that? Are you serious right now? Are you serious? Ow! I just stepped on something. Ow! I'm the Brock Lesnar. Bro, are you sure this is mine? Ah, you short little bitch. What the fuck was that? Are you fucked, bro? Okay. 2 minutes. I'm watching the counter on my clock right now. What the fuck was that? I swear to God, there's bro. Ow! Fuck, son of a bitch. There, bro. This has not been 2 minutes yet, but I just heard fucking. I heard something. I swear to God, it. Oh fucking. Oh my God. Oh Jesus. Okay, 2 minutes starts now. Show me the light or leave me in darkness. Okay. I fucking heard something. I hear something. I hear something. Show me the light or leave me in darkness. Show me the light or leave me in darkness.
Oh my god. You guys saw... You guys saw that, right? Okay. The door was terrifying. But that's okay. Hello? Hello? Okay, whew. I left the door open. It's probably just the wind. Okay. Nothing. Yep. No. Whew. I probably just got overworked and there's nothing here. picture on the floor and it just
Alien 97 is a security guard who works at this construction site, and on one night, one of the construction workers was working the night shift over at this graveyard site when something terribly creepy happened. Ever since X-Alien decided to show the footage to the construction workers over at the site, they have since been afraid to continue working there. This is what happened.
So I work security at this construction site, right? We got all the trucks. We got these real things right here. There you go. One of these. These things are heavy. Fucking, like you gotta really fucking push it to move it. Just a little backstory. It was a construction worker that he needed help pushing one of these. He says a guy came up to him, another worker, and he says, "I got you. Just guide me and I'll push it for you." So I said, "Okay, cool." So he was guiding him. He kept telling him, "Back it up, back it up, back it up," and he was pushing it. When they were done, he went around the reel to tell him thank you, and he says that he was gone.
The man helping to push the object suddenly disappeared as it stopped moving, and when the construction Jose went around to thank him for the assistance, the man was already gone, as if he were never there to begin with. But as you can see based off the CCTV footage, it's indeed true that there was never a man there to begin with. Unless perhaps one of the deceased spirits of a previous worker buried in this same graveyard came to aid Jose. This same construction worker eventually discovered a memorial photo of past employees who used to work for the company but are now deceased, and on that same photo he saw the exact man who helped him push the object, and it turns out he has been deceased since 2015. So, did this worker Jose see the spirit of a former construction worker on that night?
They either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two fucks, but I am telling you right now, that back there is not real.
This is a new video made by another passenger who was on the flight the woman on the plane was on, who became distraught when she realized she was supposedly sitting next to a shapeshifter.
Stop the plane. Stop the plane. Stop it. Stop it.
hard to hide.
This terrifying video was shared on TikTok and everyone was shocked to see it. At night, the security guard can be seen talking to someone, but on the security camera, there doesn't seem to be anyone there. And this is what happens next.
Dispatch to 329.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to a lady. I saw her walking by the store and she said she's looking for Mr. Griffin. Her name is Miss Abigail.
Did you say Miss Abigail?
Yes, ma'am. She says she wants to see Mr. Griffin, and I told her that the canvas is closed, that she should come tomorrow morning, and she might see Mr. Griffin.
Are you sure you're saying Miss Abigail? Like, she's been passed on for 2 years now.
Come again with that, please?
Miss Abigail is, she died 2 years ago.
You mean you can't see the person I'm talking to?
No, there's nobody in front of you at all.
Hello? Damn. You guys are hearing that, right? Hello? Ever since our cat passed away, things have kind of been picking up. I'm not going back there. Hello? Damn it. Who are you? Get the hell out of here. Jeez. Dude. Stop. No, dude.
Red door, yellow door, any other color door. Red door, yellow door. What do you see? A hallway. White. Okay. It's like there's a door. It's just a door. That you can't let. It's white. One in white. I'm just trying to see. See a yellow tree? No, it's just a person next. What is it looking like? What else do you see?
Who or what is that?
There's nothing. There's a dark guy in the hood.
Now never playing red door yellow door ever again. At first we just heard some weird noises, then we heard loud ass footsteps.
A Florida professor lived underwater for 100 days, and he became 10 years younger. Dr. Joseph Deturi wanted to know what happens to our bodies when they are exposed to underwater pressure for a long time. So he decided to find out by experimenting on himself for 100 whole days. He lived in a submarine under the sea.
Okay, people, tell me something. Or in Paris, and this is a mannequin that they say that they made this shit and put this in the store. This boy look like somebody dead and bomb. Look at his hand. Wait, I'm doing it through the hole. Look at the boy hands. Look, the hands. His hands is as real as mine. This is freaking serious, I swear. If anybody have this guy missing, if anybody have this guy missing, please. This is crazy. I've never seen anybody look so freaking real. How you have this man in the store sit down? Look at that shit. You see? This is friggin' crazy. Look at the guy eye. And them said they made this mannequin and put clothes on him and have him sit down in the window. Look at the guy friggin' face. This look like the friggin' guy who was in the school basketball court inside the school where them kill and take out him kidney. I swear to God. No, guys, he's in Paris. If you know anyone that missing a black son look like this, he's in Paris in the store in the window.
A man on TikTok has been experiencing a strange transformation in his body, a shape-shifting transformation according to him, after having spent some time in the Navy, and this is his first video on TikTok. Check this out.
A real reptilian eye doesn't necessarily have a slit. It has a membrane that can slide back and forth, allowing people to see a little bit better in the dark. It also allows you to change the color of your eye just a little bit. If you notice the changes on my page, I've had these changes the last year and a half. Share it if you want. Say it's cap if you want. I don't give a shit. But it's real.
After having his account and his videos deleted, he opened a second account and uploaded this video. Check this out. Now.
What you're about to hear is real. My name, it's not too important. The information that I'm about to tell you is extremely important. I was an intelligence specialist with the United States Navy. Since then, if you watch my other videos, you realize that strange things have started to happen to my body. If you remember, my eye has started to get more of a slit and a reptilian, or I guess snake eye appearance. If you look at my other videos, or what I'm adding right here, you can actually see up close what my eye looks like. If you remember, my body in certain areas, like for example, you look at my elbows on both sides, I'm growing additional limbs. My hands, my thumbs, they're extending and growing too. At first, I just put out a cry for help on TikTok. I didn't know who's gonna answer, who's gonna respond. Other people out there that went through similar experiences. I'm one of, if you notice, the first people.
This video is going viral and is really unsettling. It's by a user named Curtis PG, and I'm not really sure what to think of it. What do you think?
So I've just been here cooking, and I turn around to give one of my kids something from the living room. I come back, and I see this attic door open, and I have not been in that attic in months. Jeremy, get back. And every time I try to go shut it, I keep hearing this knocking sound. It doesn't seem to want to do it now, but like it's every time I go near it, it's not doing it. What the fuck is that?
Lights on.
I had the maintenance man come over and check out the attic, and he went up there, didn't see anything. So once he was up there, I went up there, shined the light around, and there's nothing up there. It's such a small area. I'm pretty spooked, and what makes it worse is every time the power flickers, the baby monitor will come back on, and it always has this weird lady robotic voice saying, "We care about your baby's safety." And we lived here for 2 years, and there's been some strange things that happen, like our bathrooms sometimes smell like cigarette smoke, even though we don't smoke. And I actually make videos on TikToks on other accounts, and I've had like some strange things happen, but nothing like frightening.
يا جماعة ما تلاحظون ان هذه كلها تتحرك؟ كل هذه كلها بسم الله لا اله الا الله اعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. لا اله الا الله لا اله الا الله. لا 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 يا جماعة لا 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 يا جماعة أنا ماني قادر من ريحة الكلب والله العظيم انتم عجزكم الله. لا إله إلا الله أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. لا 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 لا, لا. والله العظيم ماني قادر من الريحة يا جماعة. الله ربي لا إله إلا الله.
Cheese. Cheese. What you doing? What you see? What? What do you see? Who are you saying hi to? Who are you saying hi to? Dude, you need to stop that. You're freaking me out. Come on.